Hello students, how are you today? Welcome to ICT 8 4th quarter week 1 and 2 computer hardware servicing. I am Lara Misatuan and I will be your teacher for today. Our topic for today is all about identify hazard and risk. Hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Occupational Safety and Health, or OSH, is a planned system of working to prevent illness and injury where you work by recognizing and identifying hazards and risks. Health and safety procedure is the responsibility of all persons in the computer and technology industries. You must identify the hazards where you are working and decide how dangerous they are. Eliminate the hazard or modify the risks that it presents. There are 3 steps to manage health and safety at work. First, spot the hazard or hazard identification. Second is assess the risk or risk assessment. And the last is make the changes or risk control. You can use these 3 think-safe steps to help prevent accidents at work. The think-safe steps. First is spot the hazard. A hazard is anything that could hurt you or someone else. Examples of workplace hazards include frayed electrical cords. This could result in electrical shock. Boxes stacked precariously, they could fall on someone. Noisy machinery could result in damage to your hearing. So during working hours, you must remain alert to anything that may be dangerous. If you see, hear, or smell anything odd, take note. If you think it could be a hazard, tell someone. Second is assessing the risk. Means working out how likely it is that a hazard will harm someone and how serious the harm could be. Whenever you spot a hazard, assess the risk by asking yourself 2 questions. First, how likely is it that the hazard could harm me or someone else? Second, how badly could I or someone else be harmed? So always tell someone, your employer, your supervisor, or your health and safety representative about hazards you can fix yourself, especially if the hazard could cause serious harm to anyone. For example, first, ask your supervisor for instructions and training before using equipment. Second, ask for help moving or lifting heavy objects. And third, tell your supervisor if you think a work practice could be dangerous. If you are not sure of the safest way to do something during work experience, always ask your supervisor. Number 1, make the changes. It is your employer's responsibility to fix hazards. Sometimes you may be able to fix simple hazards yourself, as long as you don't put yourself or others at risk. For example, you can pick up things from the floor and put them away to eliminate a trip hazard. Common hazards encountered by computer technicians and users. A hazard is a situation in the workplace that has the potential to harm the health and safety of people or to damage plant and equipment. The situation could involve a task, chemical, or equipment use. Hazard management is a continuous process that can be used to improve the health and safety of all workplaces. Physical hazards. One of the most common physical hazards involving computer technicians is cables running across the floor. If someone trips, falls, and hurt himself because of a cable you ran across the floor, someone, you, your employer, or your customer has a serious legal negligence problem. If you need to temporarily run a cable across the floor, place a danger sign similar to those wet floor signs used by cleaning services. For cables that are temporary but will need to run across the floor for a longer period of time, use a gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is a heavy tape with strong adhesive to stick on the floor. For long-term cable little thing, there is a wide variety of cables organizing devices like cable ties, cable wraps, and cable raceways, which can be used to run cable safely along the wall or ceiling. Other common physical hazards include leaving tools on top of ladders and placing electronic equipment in precarious positions or on support that is not sturdy enough or not designed for holding electronic equipment. Mechanical hazards. When working on electronic equipment, ask yourself, is there any way this equipment could hurt me? You might stick your hand in a printer and suddenly, the paper feed arm moves, feeding not only paper through the printer but a piece of your finger too. You might move your hand past a computer chassis and lose a chunk of flesh because it is razor sharp. When working on electronic equipment, always be alert to any possibility of being hurt by moving parts, hot components, or sharp edges. Chemical hazards. There is a wide array of chemicals used with electronic equipment. There are display cleaning chemicals, keyboard cleaning chemicals, compressed gas dirt and dust removers, and many cleaning solvents. Some of these chemicals can be harmful if accidentally swallowed, get on bare skin, or get in eyes. Before using any chemicals or electronic equipment, always read the warnings and instructions on the label. Also, be very careful when dealing with inkjet printers, cartridges, or laser printer toner cartridges. Ink and toner can stain skin, clothing, and carpet. Electric shock hazard. Inside computers and electronic equipment, there is a range of voltages from 3.3 volts to 25 volts, most of which are harmless, but on the power supply, you will find line voltage, which is a lethal 220 volts. The workplace should have safety guidelines to follow too. First is protect people from injury. Next, protect equipment from damage. And lastly, protect the environment from contamination. Safety precautions when working. Number 1. Always ground or discharge yourself before touching any part of the computer. Number 2. Do not work alone so that there is someone who can take care of you in case of accident or emergency. Number 3. Be careful with the tools that may cause short circuit. Number 4. Always pull the cable connector on the handle and not hold on the cable itself. Number 5. Use only rubber shoes when standing on the ground or in a concrete floor. Number 6. Make sure that the pins are properly aligned when connecting the cable connector. Number 7. Always power off and unplug the computer before working on it. Number 8. Take away any liquid such as mineral water or soft drinks near your working area or near computers. Number 9. Contingency measures during workplace accidents, fire, and other emergencies are recognized. Number 10. Personal protective equipment is correctly used in accordance with organization procedures and practice. 11. Hazard or risk in the workplace and their corresponding indicators are identified to minimize or eliminate risk to co-workers, workplace, and environment. Number 12. Take necessary precautions to protect the components of the computer from damage caused by electrostatic discharge or ESD. Number 13. Hold the components by edges and do not touch the ICs. Number 14. Read the following instructions on the manual carefully. And lastly, do not use excessive force if things do not quite slip into place. Fire safety guidelines. First, know the location of fire extinguishers, how to use them, and which to use for electrical fires and for combustible fires. Next is find an escape route in case a fire gets out of control. Next, know how to contact emergency services quickly. Keep the workplace clean, and lastly, keep most solvents in a separate area. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson today. So for your activities and tests, just visit our GAITF link, gaitf.sims.school/lcms. Again, gaitf.sims.school/lcms. Thank you for watching.